Hey guys, what's going on? Pokemon underscore for the win here, bringing you a Monday Funday. And this Monday Funday, we're gonna be talking about ground types moves and what type of Pokemon get affected by what. Hope you guys enjoy. The list is sort of long, and I'm gonna be explaining a lot. So, yeah, don't really forget to drop a like. And here's the list. Hey guys, so we got the list going. It is sort of long, so here's all the Pokemon within it. We got Ampharos, we got Galvantula, Raikou, Heatran, Manectric, Arcanine, Darmanitan, Entei, Houndoom, Infernape, Victini, Venusaur, Scolipede, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Roserade, Terrakion, Tyranitar, Aggron, Shuckle, Bisharp, Excadrill, Ferrothorn, Scizor, Empoleon, Lucario, and finally Metagross. Now, all these Pokemon are highly affected by ground type moves, but which are usually on teams. The answer that I found is that the most common Pokemon are only Scolipede, Heatran, Manectric, Venusaur, Terrakion, Tyranitar, Bisharp, Excadrill, Ferrothorn, and Scizor, which means only 47% are actually used on OU teams. What I've also found is that only 17% are actually found on high-ranking teams. This is people that are actually good and play this game a lot. This is scary for some people to think about because this means that ground-type moves are not useful as they once were. When Pokemon Showdown first started, there was about 27% of all Pokemon found in the game that were weak to ground in the OU metagame. Now that the number has gotten dropped to about 18%, this means that over 10% of all Pokemon weak to ground were either banned or removed. Now, a lot of Pokemon carry ground type moves attacks, but you might not want them on that Pokemon just because of these scary numbers. In my opinion, instead of running Earthquake on some Pokemon, I would rather run Earthquake. I would rather get a priority type move or something like that on that Pokemon if it can carry it. Also, we're going to get someone to talk with us about what effects it's going to have on his personal team, why he thinks the numbers have dropped so much, and how it's going to affect the metagame of OU, and how it already has affected the metagame of OU. If you have found that any of these numbers were off, or maybe I made a mistake somewhere, please inform me in the comments below. I did do all this research by myself, but I might have misread something or miscounted. Hey guys, what's going on? Pokemon underscore for the win here, bringing you the guest speaker on our Monday Funday. We did have a couple questions to ask him about ground type moves and what he thinks will happen. First question, just simple one. How many ground type moves do you think you on average run on each Pokemon? Or like how many ground type moves do you think actually run on Pokemon?
Yo, what's up, it's Pokeminer. I say I averagely run at least 6 or 7. Most likely Earthquake because it's got a pretty good stab and it's pretty good base powered.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely one of the best Earth ground type moves. So, how many Pokemon on your personal team are weak to ground type moves?
On average, usually I run 2 to 3 teams, but on average, I say 2 are at least weak to ground. But I run a pretty defensive team usually if they are weak to ground. So it kind of matters. It kind of depends on what you're running. Like if you run like Mawile or Scizor or just like any of those bulky Pokemon that are defensive, run defense on them because most people run Earthquake and that'll ruin your life.
Yeah, that's definitely not something good to have ground type weakness. How many ground type Pokemon do you think you've had to switch due to bans and removes?
Hmm, that's actually a pretty good question because I don't run many like Pokemon that are going to be banned unless they do switch them out. But I've had to at least switch one Pokemon that's been banned.
Hmm. Yeah. Um. What do you think will happen in the future to ground types' usefulness? Like how much do you think ground types are gonna be like useful in the future? It's kind of hard to explain, but
I understand what you're saying, but I think ground types will stay the same. It just depends on how many Pokemon like how you play. Because if you give somebody like an Iron Ball, it'll drop them down to the ground, and like you can use Earthquake and stuff. But it just depends on how you run. Like nothing bad will happen to ground types, or you know, it'll just it's the way you play.
nice. Thank you for joining me on this questionnaire sort type thing, Monday Funday. I will have your channel down, his channel down in the description below. Be sure to go check out his channel. He does some really cool Pokemon Showdown videos. And like to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed. And I will see you tomorrow. And yeah.